What's up, everybody? I've been out here working on the Craftsman a lot this week and done a lot of stuff to it. Just giving you guys an update since I haven't done one in a little while, and some of you are probably wondering what's been going on to the Craftsman Rock Crawler project. So let me get this thing yanked out of the garage here because it's just a disaster in here, and I will show you what I've been up to for the past few days. So there it is. It's not completely done in the rear end yet, but it's getting there. As you can see, the seat is now attached, or what's left of the seat is now attached. I gotta get a new one, I guess, or figure something out. But it mounts to those bolts right there. Pretty strong. I've beat it with a hammer and it doesn't move. Still got spring mounts in the back, so the seat can bounce and your ass doesn't break, which is nice. Tell you what, crawling over rocks. Added a new pulley because the belt was rubbing that little hook right there. When you moved this belt tensioner that way, it would basically pull the belt into that side of the belt holder thingy, which wasn't going to be a good thing once this engine's spinning high RPM, so I didn't want to fry the belt right off the bat, so I fixed that with that. Actually is an old mower deck pulley on the back side there, and she's mounted up pretty securely, not going anywhere. Another obvious new feature of this tractor is the addition of some heavy box steel side foothold things. The old ones were stamped steel, and I got rid of those because you could basically jump up and down and bend them off if you wanted to. So instead of reinforcing them onto the tractor, I decided to build my own. This square tubing frame thing, I actually had most of it. I had to cut pieces of it off to make it work right, but added one support here to keep it from basically being able to push up or down and breaking off. It sits up significantly higher than the old one did, about an inch, so it gives me a little more clearance underneath the tractor. You can see now underneath the transaxle exists the new skid plate. That thing is pretty beefy. It locks in the front with this pin, which actually came right there. You can see it. It's now pointed sideways. It came from the old mower deck and mounted in the front. This on the back, this frame bolts in each side, and it's got a rear guard, and believe it or not, the bottom of this skid plate is made of the old Craftsman footrest. It fit around the tranny perfectly. Wraps up around the sides of it and everything. Since the bottom of the tranny is relatively flat, it sits in there about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and kind of nestles right in there. It hooks in and it's strong as shit, believe it or not. And that piece is welded to the frame up there where that mount attaches. So you pull that pin, undo those bolts, and the skid plate is off. So here's the transmission without the skid plate. You can see the one little mount there and the one little mount there, and totally vulnerable aluminum transaxle case in front. You can see the mount. That's where the mount comes out. Like I said, that's the mower deck front hanger off of the front axle. I cut that bastard right off because it basically was the lowest point of the front axle, so killed two birds with one stone, because the front of the skid plate is actually a piece of the front old mower deck mount. And this piece is just welded up into the frame, and that piece is welded to it, and the pin goes through. This is the skid plate. Like I said, there's the old front mower deck hanger that hangs off the front side of that mower deck. I cut the back side off. That was just as wide as this foot plate. Cut the back of the foot plate off because it curves this way for your foot. So that obviously went the wrong direction. This guy got welded to the front, and the old foot plate, as you can see, still retains the old parking brake, depressed clutch and brake and lock it and blah blah blah, but obviously that doesn't apply anymore because I don't think Sears intended me on cutting their foot mounts up and using them as skid plates. Or maybe they did. Maybe that's why they made it fit so perfectly. Maybe they wanted me to do this, but that's the other part that I cut off. Protects the back of the transaxle. And as you can see, that thing's pretty strong. It's not going to break. So hopefully that's not going to break. So it's like, I don't know, 25 degrees out here and the wind is blowing pretty hard. I haven't run this thing yet. This is the first time it's been out of the garage since it really went in and I started hacking it apart. So I don't really know that all these pulleys are actually lined up perfectly and not going to eat the belt. I don't really know if I lined the rear spider gears up and the transmission's going to fly apart as soon as I engage the clutch and put it in fourth gear and go to take off on this thing. So we're going to jack up the ass end under the skid plate with the jack, and I'm going to fire this bad boy up and try the gears and see if the tranny go boom or if it's actually going to be drivable, and if it is, I'll take it out back for a quick ride and see what it does. So she's jacked up, wheels aren't touching, she's hooked up, battery power off the old Murray with the battery charger helping it. And we're going to fire this beast up here in a second. She's probably going to smoke like a bastard because it's been on its side one way or the other over the past week and a half, so who knows what it's going to do, if it's going to start. Let the belt out the first time. Time to take it for a ride.